Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for April 2, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, we've been following developments in Venezuela, where the U.S. has removed sanctions against the country's government, paving the way for a potential rapprochement between Washington and Caracas. Venezuelan leader Delcy Rodriguez has welcomed the move, seeing it as an opportunity to strengthen relations and advance economic recovery. However, opposition leaders remain skeptical, questioning Rodriguez's intentions. In another story, we've been tracking rumors of a possible shakeup in the Trump administration, with Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard potentially facing the axe. According to sources close to the White House, President Trump has been privately questioning Gabbard's loyalty and effectiveness, particularly after her recent testimony on Capitol Hill. Lastly, the international community is coming together to address the crisis in the Middle East, where Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz has sent global oil prices soaring. Over 36 countries have signed a statement calling for Iran to cease its aggression and ensure safe passage through the waterway. The U.S., however, has declined to intervene, leaving European allies to take the lead in finding a diplomatic solution. These are just a few of the major stories we've been covering this week. For more in-depth analysis and updates, be sure to tune in to our daily podcasts and visit our website. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and Nanshul and know what's right now. Firstly, we reported on a controversy surrounding U.S. President's comments, which damaged relations between the U.S. and France. Our team provided an in-depth analysis of the situation and its implications for international diplomacy. In another story, we covered the art world, where a 19th-century painting by Indian artist Raja Ravi Varma set a new record for the most expensive Indian artwork ever sold. We also reported on the tragic loss of a prominent Indian artist, and our thoughts are with their family during this difficult time. Lastly, we focused on a devastating report from Human Rights Watch detailing widespread atrocities in Burkina Faso. The report alleges that over 1,400 civilians have been killed since January, with the majority of these deaths attributed to the military and its allied militias. We urge the international community to take a closer look at this crisis and work towards finding a solution that prioritizes the protection of civilians and accountability for those responsible. These stories highlight the complexities of our world, from diplomatic tensions to artistic achievements, and the devastating consequences of conflict. We'll continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskwiser.
Thank you, Barbara. We've been following the tumultuous markets, driven by geopolitical tensions and global uncertainties. The Indian markets, in particular, have experienced a volatile FY26, with foreign institutional investor flows expected to play a crucial role in driving the next leg of the market rally. We've also seen gold being touted as a hedge during periods of heightened uncertainty, although current valuations are stretched. Meanwhile, the ongoing U.S.-Iranian tensions have led to a global sell-off, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeting 300 points and oil prices surging over 4%. This increase in oil prices could have significant implications for consumers, particularly at the pump. Despite the gloom, we've also seen stories of hope and resilience, such as the recovery of the priceless Coto Finesti helmet from Romania. As the first always say, the only constant is change. In today's fast-paced world, it's essential to stay informed, adapt to new developments, and maintain a long-term perspective. So, remember, don't panic, just pivot, stay calm, stay informed, and we'll get through these turbulent times together. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Artemis program has achieved a major milestone with the launch of its first crewed mission to the Moon, marking a significant step towards establishing a sustainable presence on the lunar surface and eventually sending humans to Mars. Secondly, we're taking a journey back in time to the dawn of our universe, where astronomers have made a groundbreaking discovery that could shed light on the formation of the first stars. A team of researchers has identified a galaxy called Hebe, which appears to contain population, the first stars to form in our universe. Lastly, we're discussing the implications of this discovery and how it raises fundamental questions about the formation of the first galaxies. While the finding is not yet conclusive, it has sparked excitement among astronomers and could provide crucial insights into the early universe. These stories remind us of the awe-inspiring complexity and beauty of the cosmos, and we'll continue to follow their developments and bring you in-depth analysis and updates on the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, Apple's update to their sports platform is set to revolutionize how fans engage with the FIFA World Cup. With real-time updates, personalized tracking, and ease of use, this technological advancement will undoubtedly enhance the viewing experience for millions of football enthusiasts worldwide. In college basketball, the Crown Tournament is heating up, with several thrilling matchups taking place recently. The Oklahoma Sooners dominated the Colorado Buffaloes, while the Baylor Bears had a resounding win over the Minnesota Golden Gophers. As the tournament progresses, storylines are emerging, including Stanford's bid to capitalize on their recent form and Creighton's farewell to head coach Greg McDermott. Lastly, we're looking ahead to Thursday's National Invitational Tournament semi-final matchup between the New Mexico Lobos and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. The Lobos' strong defense will face a tough test against Tulsa's high-powered offense, while the Golden Hurricane's defense will need to find a way to slow down the Lobos' balanced attack. Expert picks are divided, with some predicting a New Mexico win and others expecting an upset from Tulsa. Tune in tomorrow for more in-depth analysis and updates on these exciting storylines. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curall.
Thank you, Howard. First, we delved into the world of hedgehog conservation, where we met passionate individuals who are working tirelessly to protect these beloved creatures and their habitats. From creating hedgehog highways to providing welcoming environments in gardens and parks, we saw firsthand the impact that community-driven conservation can have on our ecosystem. Next, we took a journey through the rolling hills of Kentucky, where we discovered the rich history and craftsmanship behind bourbon making. We met a family who has been perfecting their recipe for 3 generations and learned about the importance of tradition, community, and attention to detail in shaping America's iconic spirit. These stories remind us of the power of human connection, community, and dedication to preserving our natural world and cultural heritage. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, it's essential to slow down, appreciate the beauty of the everyday, and savor the flavors of life. Now, for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, we explored the fascinating world of music and hospitality, with a story about hotels that offer unique musical experiences for their guests. From in-room guitar lessons to secret concerts, these hotels are redefining the way we experience music while traveling. Next, we delved into a complex and intriguing story involving music executive Tommy Mottola and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. According to documents obtained by our team, the two men had a close friendship that spanned several years, raising questions about Mottola's judgment and awareness of Epstein's predatory behavior. Lastly, we discussed a rather unsettling story about dissident Republicans still being active in Northern Ireland, despite the Belfast Agreement. Recent attacks have highlighted the need for continued vigilance and support for those working towards peace and reconciliation. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we looked at the urgent issue of protecting Antarctica's delicate ecosystem. A dramatic confrontation between an activist ship and a Norwegian krill trawler has sparked intense debate about the balance between environmental activism and industrial fishing practices. The incident has raised questions about the effectiveness of current regulations and the need for sustainable fishing practices to preserve the Antarctic marine life. In our second story, we explored how technology is being used to reconnect people with nature. We featured several innovative apps that are facilitating a reconnection with the natural world, from tracking walking routes and bird-watching excursions to identifying plant species and exploring the night sky. These apps are promoting physical activity, fostering a sense of wonder, and encouraging us to engage with the world around us. Lastly, we discussed the critical issue of environmental protection in our own backyard. We highlighted the importance of responsible human activities and the need for sustainable practices to preserve the health of our planet's ecosystems. From the icy landscapes of Antarctica to our local communities, it's essential that we prioritize environmental stewardship and engage in constructive dialogue to find solutions that benefit both humans and the environment. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.